It's Norte season, when the prevailing winds blow from the north, bringing cooler weather, hence the migration to sail south. We have a few things to check off the list before we go, but now into the new year, we're contemplating a bigger leap, feeling a bit behind the herd.
This time of year, you only get typically a couple nice days in between the northerly blows, and you might get you might get a week or so in between the actual blows, but it's usually it'll calm down a little bit, but you'll still have nice stable northerly winds, but then it'll just die out and the winds will just become nothing, or they'll be really fluky, or they'll even go south a little bit. So as far as making miles, you typically only have a couple days, but for us, if we were to sail to Mazatlan from here, that's at least a 3.5 day sail.
Eager to cross that tropic line, we might take a wild ride on the back of one of these northerlies. Over breakfast, we discuss what's crucial for a more than 3-day passage. Red Aviva is ready as is, but there's always room for improvement in efficiency, ease, and safety. We check outside to decide the day's project. Good morning. Still a little bit windy. Less wind means we're on deck and in the rigging.
All right, I'm gonna try to finish the running back project, so I just have to pull the splices out of the old running backs and re-splice them so they're a little bit shorter, so I can attach them to the eye bolts that I put in.
Last week, Garrett begun moving the running backs forward. Our biggest headache sailing is operating the running backs. They are essential for proper tension and must be completed before we take our leave.
There we go, splices out.
Garrett's making a new Brummel splice in the Dyneema stay for the new location on deck. The most involved project is done. I'm gonna do some laundry, big old bag of laundry, and take a shower. But before I can get to shore, I have to give our dinghy a little love.
I think it's time for a new dinghy.
Our poor dinghy.
There she goes.
One of these years, as Garrett says, he'll build that rowing dinghy. But until we have the space and materials, we manage with our Taddy inflatable. Bye! Get some laundry done, much needed. I've got a big sail bag full of sheets and so much that I didn't get to before we left, so it all smells pretty rank. We love Marina Puerto Escondido. The facilities are nice, the staff is wonderful, and the mooring field has been a great home base. These showers are still the best. Talk of the dinghy dock is the dentist in town, and the real reason we're still here. Garrett's had a hole in his tooth and needs to take care of it before it gets infected. Not something you want to have happen at sea.
I was hoping to just have it done and over with, because I've been dreading it. But it sounds like it doesn't actually look like it goes into the root. So
yeah.
He doesn't think I need a root canal. He wants me to be on antibiotics and ibuprofen for 3 days before.
Okay.
To grind away a gigantic cavity and put a crown on and do your teeth cleaning, 7,500 pesos.
We have some time to kill between appointments. Good thing we have plenty of projects to choose from. Oh yeah.
It's good to be back.
It's really an opportunity to get Rediviva more dialed for future miles.
All right, so just finished up the running back projects, and in order to finish the starboard side, I had to steal a turnbuckle from the inner forestay here where the staysail attaches, and obviously I got to do something about this before we go sailing again. But I'm just going to take all that leftover Dyneema that I had lashing on the running backs where they were previously, and I'm just going to use that to make a lashing on this, cinch it nice and tight, and that'll be plenty fine. And I actually think it'll be better than having the turnbuckle on there, because the turnbuckle that I had on there before, it wouldn't really cinch tight enough to get this stay nice and taut. It was always a little loose, and I mean, it's a gaff rig, so it's a loose rig anyway, but it was a little too loose, and having loose head stays does not help your windward performance at all. And also, obviously, this boat can use all the help she can get when it comes to windward performance, so I think I'll actually be able to get more tension on the stay with the lashing than with the turnbuckles, so hopefully it'll be an improvement. As far as lashings go, I mean, typically I don't really follow a particular anything. I just kind of make them up as I go, but I've yet to have a failure. There's certain things that I stick to specific, like for the dead eyes on the lanyard, the racking seizings to finish off the end of the lanyard. Those things like that, I stick to specific lashings that are tried and true for those applications. But you know, stuff like this, I just kind of see how much line that I have, because I'm usually using some piece of line that's already cut to a certain length, and I work with whatever length that I have, and I, you know, make it fast however seems appropriate at the time. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do to kind of just allow ourselves to have more control over the mainsail and the gaff and everything, I'm going to add kind of like a gaff vang. So I need to lash on just a connection point on the end of the gaff here. I've already got a kind of a spare auxiliary halyard on the top of the mizzen mast here. So, and that leads down to the pin rail right here. So I'm going to use that, and when we want to run this, we attach the end of that to the connection point on the end of the boom, and then that way, if at any time we need to suck the boom in, and I've also seen this rigged on other gaff rig boats just in general to, you know, maybe be able to flatten the sail out. Maybe we'll be able to get some upwind performance. I don't know. Probably won't really use it that much for just regular sail trim. Just if I need to ever pull the boom or pull the gaff in or pull the gaff down, because the only thing that I'm trying to do here is make it so we don't get caught in the situation like we've gotten caught in several times with the gaff getting stuck up top in heavy wind and not being able to get it down. And sometimes it's a problem that when we dump the peak halyard, we can't even get the gaff to drop. There's just too much pressure on everything. So with this up here, we can just yank on that line and it'll pull the gaff in and down, and hopefully that'll allow us to get control of it, because if we can pull it more centerline and pull it down, we can take the pressure off the jaws and then hopefully just yank the sail down. So just a bunch of little things to try and just have better control over this sail, because it's a pretty powerful sail. When it's really loaded up in heavy winds and stuff, it can be a bear to wrestle. Found a little shackle down there. Again, another just random piece of scrap twine.
Garrett checks all the rigging, all the while refining the list, figuring out what's important and what can get done in this forced interlude. Back in Loreto. It's time.
Get my tooth drilled down to a nub. Yay.
Yay!
Can't wait.
Here's to solving your problems in 2024.
I'm gonna get needles shoved in my gum and my tooth ground away.
The final visit will be the Crown in 7 to 10 days. But this is Mexico, and we heard this translates to 12 to 14 days. So with possibly 2 weeks, just imagine all the projects we could get done.
All right, another thing that I've been meaning to do forever, still haven't done, is mount our EPIRB, which I guess is kind of important. I'm thinking right here. Wow, look at this. And I'm installing smoke/carbon monoxide detectors. Next thing you know, we're gonna start wearing life jackets. It's pretty ugly, but. All right. Only took like 2 years, but we got a handle for the drawer. Yep, that should be easier.
Nice.
Well, I needed a bus bar, and I didn't have a bus bar, so I'm making a bus bar.
Because you have a doohickey with a bunch of screws
Exactly.
and a lot of extra wire.
Technical term.
And if you can hear what is happening outside. When the wind is up, the projects are down below. Got the last of our big blankets done in shore. It was a fun dinghy ride back. indoor project, huh?
Yeah.
Finished product.
Finished product.
That is one archaic bus bar there, my love.
Bus.
The Franken bus.
I don't know why I put a fuse on the negative side. I wasn't really thinking about that. I was just kind of on autopilot. I'm like, oh, I need to put a fuse on it. I'm gonna install it up in our bunk area.
So here are kind of the little reading lights. They had good reviews. They feel nice. Not too light and janky. Making the most of the intermission from movement, Garrett's chipping away at that last 10% of completion that's known in the boating world to never reach zero. Lights up in what we call La Cueva is another small project that makes a big difference. I appreciate even the simplest handle on a drawer. Garrett keeps me safe, improves the ship, and eases my stress. I love a warm meal, a cold beer, and to cozy up at the end of the day with him. It's not always an epic day, but it's a good day. Thanks for watching. Work from home. Leave me alone.
Yeah, but he said there is doggy. Getting creative on our camera holding here. Yeah. Go. It's not working. Oh, I guess you don't get to see me trace it.
Go away. I'm trying to work. Oh, your shadow is in my shot. You butthole.
I was gonna be funny, but I'm really awkward on camera.